Welcome to LCAP Legacy, Decades of Dedication, the podcast that celebrates the incredible individuals who have shaped the heart and soul of the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership.
Each episode, we'll dive deep into the stories of those who have devoted their careers to making a difference, not just in our organization, but in the lives of the people we serve every day.
We'll uncover their journeys, explore the moments that inspired them, and highlight the lasting impact of their commitment to LCAP's mission.
So whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply celebrate the amazing people who make LCAP what it is, thank you for joining us.
This is LCAP Legacy, Decades of Dedication.
Let's get started with today's guest.
You're now listening to LCAP Legacy, Decades of Dedication, and we are back with another episode. We have officially made it to episode 16, and of course, in the studio, I have my wonderful co-host with me.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Wednesday.
And this week's special guest, many of you guys have seen her face if you visited the Grant Street office before. We have Linda Owens, and Linda has been here for the past 25 years, and she has worked as the receptionist for Grant Street location of LCAP's organization. So thank you so much, Linda, for joining us here today on the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
So take us to the beginning. How did you get involved with LCAP?
When I actually knew one of the president of the board, and they was needing a receptionist, and so he called me and had me come in and apply.
Nice. Obviously, that was 25 years ago. So take us through the evolution of LCAP and how you've been able to be here throughout the years for the past 25 years. What has that journey been like for you?
Long. Love all the employees. Seen a lot of come, seen new ones, and then people leave. It's been a long journey, but pleasant one. So, but I like it here.
Well, after all those years, I sure hope you do.
But I still want to do early retirement.
Not for a couple more years, Linda. We'll still have you here.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
So, Linda, what does a typical day at the front desk look like for you? What's your morning start routine, and how do you go through the day?
Morning start. Start my computer, do the TV, get my board ready for sign-ins, get the phones. Well, usually Rachel has to get the phones turned on. My MyTel don't work most of the time to log in and out. But other than that, Rachel is actually my saving grace for the days that it is very busy, a little chaotic sometimes. But yeah, she's my go-to.
So what's some advice that you would give to somebody who's visiting LCAP for the first time or calling in for the first time?
Well, usually I try to find out what service they're looking for. Once we kind of narrow that down, then I will either give them resources, phone numbers, if it's something that we're not able to help them with. If it is things that we're able to help them with, usually I'll tell them what all they need to bring down with them whenever they come. There's places people have called actually from like Mercer, Beaver. We look up their information, give them that information for their area. There's sometimes a little research, sometimes not, And sometimes I even have a little bit of trouble because programs change so much that I have to try to figure out who's doing what at that point in time.
And speaking of changes, what are some of the biggest changes that you've seen within the agency during your time here?
Well, like I said, there's been a lot of employees that have been here and then left, but some of the biggest changes is the growth. It's just 25 years ago wasn't like it is today. I mean, there has been so many programs added, different buildings brought into it, bought, and like with the YDC, Fruit Mill Road campus. That was humongous. But yeah, there's just the growth of everything. Head Start, even our agency here. There was, very few people here that we didn't have this basement. And then all of a sudden, new grants, new programs, remodeling of the downstairs. So there's been a lot of changes.
Can you correct me if I'm wrong, but the front area wasn't always the same. Were you always located directly in the front? Like, were you the first person that people seen originally?
I was always directly in the front. My desk has never changed. It's in the same spot it was from day one. We had an open area, so there wasn't enclosed. There wasn't the locked door. There was just two little swinging gates, We had a wall that ran down alongside of my desk. We had AX transportation behind me, dispatch in the room across the hall. So that hasn't been here for years because they moved up to the other building. And that was once the daycare up there. And that moved into the Ben Franklin once we got that building. And so, yeah, it's a lot different. It was pretty much open.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they end up having to put all those cubes in and all that. But yeah, it was just open. Anybody could have walked through at any point in time, so.
And being, Linda, that you've always been the first point of contact, how do you create a good first impression for everybody coming through the door?
Oh, I smile. I do always smile, even if I'm not, But yeah, you have to try to be as pleasant and positive as possible at the front counter, even after 25 years, So I do my best.
So after 25 years, what's something that you've learned about the community through your role?
Are a lot of hard times out there for some of our clients. Some that, have lost their job and have nowhere else to turn. And with being 211, we're the first, the first option on there. So we have helped a lot of people in hard times. COVID times was really an impact. We impacted a lot of families at that point in time with help. So it's just been an overall, I don't even know what to even say. It's just, we've helped out a lot of people in a lot of hard times. So that's a good feeling.
And I can imagine within the last 25 years, you've been able to build some type of a relationship with people that have come through the office throughout the years. So is there, not necessarily naming anyone, but is there anyone in particular that you've had a really strong bond with that you've been able to help throughout the years that you can recall? Do you want to tell us about it?
Sometimes when they come in, they're a little not so happy. I just kind of like have to just talk them down, and so far throughout the years it's worked. But yeah, there's just that one in particular that no matter what, she'll call and, hey, is this you? Yeah, it's me. So yeah, but that's probably about the most familiar one. So
I don't know, Linda. There's many, many people working next to you over the last few years that really adore you and always ask about you and if you're here and if you're on vacation, when is Linda coming back?
Oh, well, that's nice to know. Thank you for that.
So, Linda, how would you describe the mission of LCCAP in your own words?
Powerful.
Linda, how do you manage high pressure situations? What's your relaxation at the front desk? Because it is a lot with the phones ringing and people coming in, and like you said, some not so happy people sometimes because of their current situation they're going through. So what do you do to take the pressure off, or how do you make everybody feel at ease? I know you said you smile. Is there anything you do, for yourself, make yourself something?
Yeah. I go to Rachel.
Rachel is wonderful too.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
Like I said, she is my saving grace. It's like if I didn't have her there to help me, there are days that, I think I'd totally lose it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you got to take a break, walk away from the desk, and go outside and enjoy the sunshine or the rain, whichever it may be that day. But sometimes you just got to take a little break.
So since there is always so much going on, how do you stay organized?
I don't. My desk is a mess. It's cleaner in the evening. But I mean, you just gotta put things in perspective as to as in clients whenever they come in. There are some times that we might have to move one client in front of another because of the situation that they have at hand. But that's about it.
And you are a big part of the community. I heard you talking to our other secretary up at Early Learning the other day, and she said, I always direct people to you. And you said, well, I direct people to you too. And over the last, 25 years, other agencies too know that they could call in. And you guys, we all learn from each other. So you know so much information about the different resources just by being that, first person at the front desk. You answer, 90% of the calls that come in. So you're able to provide those resources to people from different agencies. And the same goes for them to refer them over here to us. So you do a lot when you really, sit down and think about it.
But it's not just me because it's like it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for other people in the organization that get things together, just like our resource packet that we have, if we didn't have all those people putting all those resources together, I wouldn't have things to give to people at the front counter whenever they come in and they need places, to help them. So it takes the whole, a lot of the organization of the other people in the building that we all work together.
A lot of teamwork and a lot of collaboration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of resources, we have a wonderful new resource area right up past your desk. So anybody listening in and wanting to check it out, it has all the different events that are coming up through Lawrence County Community Action Partnership and different local summer activities and events in the community too. So it's a great resource for anybody to, go grab a pamphlet and check it out and see what's going on.
And Linda, you often joke that you're going to be retiring soon. Mm-hmm. So one of the themes of this podcast is legacy. And I like to ask each of our guests, if you were to leave some type of legacy here, what are you hoping that would be?
Got to think about that one. Well, hopefully the majority of the people, there are some that don't like me, but the majority of them remember that, I try to do my best to, make sure that whatever their needs are, that they're met, the resources to help them meet those needs, but that I tried to help them in any way that I possibly could.
Alrighty. So before we wrap up that round, is there anything else that you would like to tell us about your journey here at LCCAP or your career?
Well, I didn't start here full time, that's for sure. I was part-time at one time, and I work in 3 jobs. But then after so long, I was just like, one's enough. This one is enough for me. So, but yeah, that's about it.
I would like to say something special that Linda just did for our early learning kiddos out at Fermo campus. So classroom 133 is making fairy gardens. And Linda was kind enough to collect different bottles for the fairies' houses and sticks in her backyard so the kiddos had supplies to make for their fairy gardens. And they were so excited when me and Miss Kristen brought them in today, and they made a little video for Miss Linda. So I'm going to share that with her, and we'll have that on our social media too for everybody to check out and see. But if, her kindness, her kind heart, everything that she gives to, the community and her coworkers too. And if, for example, just like I mentioned, for early learning, if it wasn't for Linda collecting everything that we needed, we wouldn't be able to do that activity today. So I want to say thank you. And the kiddos said thank you too. And we'll share that video at a later date for everybody to check out.
You know what? I just want to say one thing because that reminds me. Our mailman.
Which one? We've had a few.
The new one, the mailman said, I just want you to know that your building is known as the snack office because up at my drawer, I have snacks for coworkers, the mailman, FedEx, UPS, Amazon. So, yeah, they all know about the snack drawer. So we are...
You forgot to mention Fredo Corleone. She gets something for lunch for him every single day, and my daughter Ella.
Yeah.
And I get an orange juice every day.
And so, Janae, if you didn't know about the snack drawer, there's one upstairs.
So now if you see me creeping up the steps, you know
Yes,
why.
It is the bottom right drawer.
Okay,
Help
thank
yourself.
you. I appreciate
And
that.
you as well.
I already know about the snack drawer. Don't worry.
But as we wrap up that segment of the episode, we're going to move on to the quick fire round. And how that works is Amber and Kim are going to ask you a series of questions, and you're just going to answer those questions with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Oh, well, okay. Now here it comes, huh?
Yes. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Whoever wants to start, Kim or Amber, go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty. So, Linda, we already mentioned your snack drawer.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your go-to snack?
I usually don't eat too many of them.
You don't have any of your own snacks?
I just started, and that is the peanut butter filled pretzels.
Ooh.
I just bought them, and I really like them, but usually not too much of the other stuff that I eat.
That sounds really good. Yeah. And if the front desk could have a theme song, what would it be?
The only thing I could think of is "We Will Rock You," and that's only because of the football games. But go ahead. Next
good.
question.
Yeah.
So, Linda, what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
Camping.
Nice. Any particular place that's your favorite to go camping?
We have a camper in a campground up in Slippery Rock. And me and my husband we had 3 dogs, but one just passed. So we will be taking our 2 dogs camping.
Linda, what would be your favorite vacation spot you think that you would like to travel to? Like, something that somewhere you always wanted to go.
Well, I always wanted to see Hawaii, but never going to get there.
Never say never.
Yeah, I don't fly. And I don't like boats either. So unless I'm going to go by train and you can't get there by train, I'm never going to be there. But Hawaii would be my first.
Hi, Hawaii.
So what's something on your desk that always makes you smile?
Pictures of my family.
Yeah.
My grandkids, my kids, my great-grandson. Yeah.
And if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Kim's energy.
That's a good one.
That was good, but I really don't have a lot of energy.
Oh, girl.
You fake it real well,
honey,
then.
honey, you got more energy than you think.
I don't know, because I'm always pooped.
Yeah. Well,
That's because you exert so much throughout the day. I can
Yeah.
only imagine you probably just shut down at the end of the night.
Never, though. I don't even lay down. I mean, I get up around 5:15, and we don't lay down until like 10. So, I mean, I don't stop from those hours of the day.
so if we could bottle it, just sell me some of it, okay?
I'll take some of that too.
Transportation could be another, or teleportation could be another one, because then you could just teleport to Hawaii. You wouldn't have to fly.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
Or
Yeah.
We're
Right,
getting
boat.
too far into that. Oh, we got enough craziness going out there in the world now. We don't need to teleport stuff. Lord knows what we might get.
If you had someone make a movie about your time at LCAP, who would play you as an actress?
Sandra Bullock would be more me.
I can see that.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Overboard.
That would be you.
All right.
This was fun.
Yes, it was. We got to learn some more about you. So before we wrap up this episode, is there anything else that you would like to say or get off your chest?
62, I'm done. I'm doing an early retirement. Woohoo!
Leaving the legend to Rachel.
Yes, I'm sure
Yes.
that's going to be a sad day, though. A lot of people will be sad to see you go since you have been such an influential part of being here the last 25 years.
I hope. I will miss a lot of people, but I want to be able to just enjoy my babies and relax in my camper. And I've seen too many people that have worked into their 70s and 80s and never make it a year. And I don't want to be that. I want to be able to enjoy retirement.
Well, that's understandable for sure. Yes. Well, we hope that you get to enjoy your retirement. And that will go ahead and wrap up this episode. So thank you so much for joining us in the studio today, Linda. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you guys for all listening. And of course, we'll be back next week with another special guest.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda, for coming in.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Linda.
everybody.
Have a great day, everyone.